So we've been talking a lot about Xbox on the channel recently because I'm an Xbox YouTuber. I'm arguably the king of Xbox YouTube, the king of PlayStation, emulation, wrestling video game YouTube, but don't call me a Nintendo YouTuber. I swear to God, if I see one Nintendo YouTuber comment in the comment section down below, you're banned, bud. You're out of here. Sayonara. See you later. But we're talking about Xbox once again today because we have some interesting developments happening. Obviously, Pentiment just released onto PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. I'm not checking the game out because it never really interests me. Coming in at $20, I think that's a pretty reasonable price point for that game. People seem to like Pentiment. Whatever, if you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. And of course, we have games like Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush coming out on other platforms. Things are definitely changing at Microsoft. Well, one of the things that we've consistently heard from Phil Spencer and the crew, Mr. Matt Booty and Sarah Bond, was that hardware is still a focus for Xbox. And when you look at Xbox's sort of business model, especially this generation, it's never really seemed like hardware was the main focus. It always kind of seemed like Game Pass and things like Game Pass were the focal point, whereas the Xbox hardware was just kind of a vehicle to get you into Game Pass. We're seeing lots of success with some Game Pass games. Palworld is doing really good numbers being on Game Pass. I believe 40% of the 25 million people that have played Palworld have played it on Xbox. So, I still think Xbox hardware has a place in the marketplace. I enjoy my Xbox Series X. I've enjoyed Xbox hardware. Well, folks, we've also been talking about the fact that a new Xbox was looming on the horizon, seemingly like it was going to be a holiday release, but it seems like that may have been a bit bumped up. We, of course, first learned about this Xbox during the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal, where the court documents were, of course, out there, and you could see things like Microsoft was planning a digital version of the Xbox Series X. And we talked about it before, 2 terabytes, of hard drive space instead of the 1 terabyte that comes on your Xbox Series X. And it seemed like at some point that was going to be happening. It seems like that some point, though, has indeed been moved up. Like I said, we had a new report go out today from Xputer, which is a website. I'm not super familiar with them, but it seems like they are somewhat credible because my other Xbox brethren, such as Idle Sloth, is indeed talking about it, and he's the Xbox news guy. That's fine as long as you're not trying to be the Xbox YouTube guy. We are good. So Microsoft has an all-digital white Xbox Series X in the works. Microsoft is planning to release a digital Xbox Series X sometime between June and July this year. The black color of the existing console will be swapped with white, and it will be all digital. The price of the digital Xbox Series X is unknown, but it could be lower than the current model. So people are now setting themselves up for this to be under $500. But like I said, if it has that 2 terabyte drive on it, that could be Microsoft's reasoning to position it at the same price point. And we have a mock-up of the system here. I'm sure this is just a mock-up done by the website. Probably just inverted the colors of the Xbox Series X controller and console to, make it suit this need. But I'm sure it'll look something like that. But see, I don't know. That's where things would get interesting because you don't have a physical disk drive. So I feel like you can make this much smaller. Like, look at the Xbox Series S. Like, that's a much, much smaller console because of the fact that it does not have a disk drive on it. But one thing I find very interesting is this. Just 2 days ago, Phil Spencer reassured fans that Xbox will not dismiss physical media. So that's kind of one of the things that is being talked about right now as well. Xbox and physical media. And then, of course, someone says, well, wait till you find out about the all-digital PlayStation 5. I feel like that's a different thing. The all-digital PlayStation 5 it's still not the flagship console. And in fact, they now have it so you have a detachable drive. If you want to add physical media to this newer PlayStation 5 model, slimmer model that they have with it, so you can access physical media. When we're talking about Xbox and physical games, though, I feel like it's a completely different topic. because of the fact that many retailers are starting to phase out Xbox physical games because Xbox wants you to play these games wherever. You don't need to have a physical game device. We want you to do cloud gaming. We want you to have Game Pass where you don't have any sort of physical goods, because now you kind of kill the secondary market of things like that. But sort of beyond that, like look at Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was an Xbox exclusive game. It never came out physically on the Xbox until they teamed up with Limited Run, and now the game will be coming out physically on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Same thing with Pentiment, another Xbox exclusive game that never got a physical release. Did Ori ever get a physical release? We're going to look that up right now, kiddies, as we're filming this live, because I feel like Ori didn't get a physical release on the Xbox, but I could be wrong on that. It did get a physical release, so I am wrong on that, but that's why I check these things. I'm not trying to talk willy-nilly, but obviously when we're talking about games like this, exclusive games that are now coming to other platforms, and with the other platforms, they are somewhat emphasizing a little bit of a physical base for it going through limited run games. Like that's the one problem I have with Xbox, is that they always talk the talk, but sometimes they back talk the talk. Like even after the whole Xbox press conference thing, you know, where they all stood around, like Phil Spencer kind of gave some vaguely different answers to members of the media than he did during that conversation. And I feel like, you know, that's kind of the thing. There's no Xbox game studio stuff really as far as marketing is concerned with games like Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment. And according to Xbox, the reason to get, you know, Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment and, you know, Grounded and Sea of Thieves on other platforms is because you're hoping to draw people into the Xbox ecosystem. And on the surface level, I don't think that's a terrible idea. You kind of see what Nintendo does with their mobile games, and then that kind of introduces people who are playing mobile games into their hardware a bit more because they're Nintendo games. So, like, I get the idea, but the execution needs to be better. You need to be Xbox game, you know, whatever. Like, you need to have Xbox all over the marketing for this. You need to have Xbox on the splash screen, on the title screen and stuff like that, if you honestly want to bring people into your ecosystem. Because without that, they're not going to care that that game is on Xbox because they don't know. They don't know that. So, I don't know. You know, getting back, we've kind of got off the topic a little bit here, but that's fine. Getting back to the topic at hand, though, I think this little Xbox here is interesting. You know, obviously we are moving towards an all digital future at some point in time. I guess it'll be here sooner rather than later. You know, but it does look like this will be coming, and I'll be interested to see. I think this really boils down to how they divide it up with the Xbox Series X, because I'm going to assume that the Xbox Series X is not being phased out, because that would be absolutely ridiculous. That is your only Xbox platform that actually takes physical media. But as far as upcoming hardware, you know, creation is concerned, as far as manufacturing of these systems, what sort of split are we going to see? Is it going to be like 70 of the Xbox Series X in black and 30 of the Xbox Series X in white? Is it going to have a different name? You know, like, how are you going to handle that? Because it's not necessarily about if it's the option. It's more so based on what can people get in their hands, what is going to be readily available, and what is going to be manufactured. Because you could still say, yeah, we make the Xbox Series X in black with physical media, but if you're only making 5 of them to 5 million of the white ones, it's kind of a bit of a moot point. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. A little Xbox action. Sorry today's video is late. I had to get a car service done this morning, and it was supposed to take like an hour and a half, but there was a recall on my car, so it ended up taking like 3 hours. Totally messed up my whole day. But I wanted to get this out to you guys because, hey, I thought it was an interesting topic. Let me know what you think of everything in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Don't you dare put that I'm a Nintendo YouTuber in the comments. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.